All right. Welcome to the podcast, the 1-4 Flat Podcast. Get the hell out the way. No scrubs allowed. All right, guys. So, I'm going to go on a little bit of a rant here and talk about where I want this podcast to go, where it is right now, how I'm going to do it moving forward. I know I've changed it a couple times already, but I think what I'm about to say is how I want to do it for the near future. And I want to tell you guys how I got this podcast name and why I chose 1-4 Flat, because I haven't done that yet for some reason. But yeah, I'll start there. 1-4 Flat is basketball terminology, I guess you can say, for it's an isolation play, ISO. And the 1 is the ball handler at the top of the key with 4 of his teammates baseline or 4 flat on the baseline so they can get the hell out the way and let him work and give that defender some work. And and when I say no scrubs allowed, that player that's calling for the 1-4 flat is no scrub. He's ready to ball out. He's ready to give that defender some work. And yeah, so I guess you can say I'm the 1, and I'm telling all these other podcasters to get the hell out the way. That's not me talking shit, because obviously this podcast is nothing right now, but that's just some self-confidence. And from now on, I kind of underestimated doing this podcast by myself. Not really, because I knew it was going to be hard, but now I'm figuring out it is way harder than I thought. Trying to do it 2 times a week, it's difficult to even get 30 minutes, talking about 1 or 2 topics or subjects like the NFL or NBA, talking basically to myself into my cell phone right now with nobody else present to bounce ideas off or get another person's insight on, so I can bounce off ideas and what I think about things. But so yeah, I think I'm gonna do it once a week, probably every Wednesday, maybe Thursday. I'll probably do it Wednesday nights, like I'm doing right now. Put it out Thursday early morning, or sometime Thursday, and talk about fashion and music and basketball and football. But yeah, so welcome to the 1-4 Flat Podcast. I'm your host, Crick, your boy, for now at least. But it was a big weekend for football, college, and NFL. I want to talk mostly about the NFL because I really don't give a shit about college football except go Tigers. But there's a couple things to talk about, Michigan and Alabama and whatnot. But first, let's get into this NFL action. Now, last week I talked about the Ravens and 49ers matchup going into the weekend. And I predicted the Ravens would win, but I did want them to kind of lose to, come back to earth a little bit and, be humbled a little bit. But, they proved they can play against any defense. I think they are legit. I think they're, very legitimate Super Bowl contenders. And I do think if they would meet Tom Brady in the playoffs, that they would win again. And I think they have the potential to win it all this year because they got that swag. And I see, a lot of people wanting this Ravens 49ers matchup in the Super Bowl. I don't. I do not want to see Jimmy Garoppolo in the Super Bowl. I just don't want to see I just don't believe in that offense a whole lot. And I would rather see a Ravens-Seahawks matchup in the Super Bowl. But we'll get to Seahawks in a minute. I did talk about the Texans and Patriots game. I did expect the Texans to win. I did expect DeAndre Hopkins to have a bigger game than he actually did. I did expect him to, I think I predicted around 6 catches, 100 yards, and a touchdown. He only had maybe 3 or 4 catches for 40-some-odd yards, and he shuffled past a touchdown to Deshaun Watson. But I knew this was a big game, or I thought it was a big game for the Patriots. I think that game proves that the Patriots they're just not the same team. They're not contenders for a Super Bowl. Of course, they'll be dangerous in the playoffs, but, everybody keeps saying, oh, well, look at their record. Well, they haven't played anybody, and the teams they have played, they've lost. And they've, lost in, pretty bad fashion. One including Lamar Jackson and the Ravens. But, Tom Brady needs a crutch. He needs his Gronkowski, and it's showing that he's having a very hard time with that offense and the weapons or the lack of weapons he has right now. Don't get me wrong, that defense is super legit, and defense wins championships, but do I think that defense is good enough to lead them to a Super Bowl like Denver did in 2015? No. I do not think that defense is anywhere close to, a Denver team or the Seahawks when they beat Denver or the Ravens back in 2001. I just don't see it. Enough about, the Patriots. But that's my thoughts. I don't think they're, legitimate contenders. I think these new, younger teams with these newer quarterbacks, these younger quarterbacks like Mahomes, Watson, Jackson, Brady doesn't have that mental, that I don't want to say dominance, but I just don't think because, when he plays Phillip Rivers and some of these other teams, he just has that edge, that mental edge over them. Because last year when they met, the Patriots and the Chargers were a good team heading into the playoffs, and Brady had their number, and he's always had their number, and I think that sticks with Rivers. So I don't think these newer, younger teams are feeling that pressure. I think they're ready to knock this old guy off the wagon and, let a new dynasty or new teams emerge from the AFC. And Seahawks. The Seahawks and Vikings game Monday night was a really good game. I enjoyed it a lot. I think the Seahawks should have won a little bit easier. They had that really dumb pick six with Russell Wilson. That could have been avoided. Russell Wilson also threw one in, through this guy's hands in the end zone early in the game, or it might have been third quarter. I can't quite remember, but in the corner of the end zone, went right through his hands. I think they should have won by a little bit more than what they actually did. I would like to see them face each other again in the playoffs. I think that'd be a great matchup. I think the Vikings can cause problems for anybody in the NFC, but I do not trust Kirk Cousins when he has to make a play or multiple plays or a drive for them to win a game. I just don't think he can do that. And that's going to lead into a discussion on, teams overpaying quarterbacks. But I'll get into that in a minute. Oh, the Eagles. I don't know what's happening with them, honestly. They keep getting torched on the defensive end, and I don't think their defense is that terrible. Now, they do have some gaping holes, in the secondary, but it's not, Darby should be playing better than what he is. Malcolm Jenkins should be playing better than what he is. They have a great defensive line. They have great linebackers. I don't see how they keep getting, it must be a coaching thing or something. Or, if their offense isn't playing up to par, I don't know if, and again, Carson Wentz getting a huge contract and not living up to it. I get you're kind of paying for more so the future, but fuck, man. These guys won a Super Bowl 2 years ago. Let's not forget that. I understand it wasn't Carson Wentz, but Nick Foles, big contract, not living up to it right now. Got benched. But the Eagles have the schedule is favorable for them for the last quarter of the season. It's all division matchups. Giants and Redskins, so they should win out. I would like to see them in the playoffs, but we will see. The Chiefs and the Raiders game. Chiefs blew out the Raiders. I think it was 40-10. It doesn't say too much to me about the Chiefs because I credit to the Raiders, although I hate saying that because I'm a Broncos fan, but they've done well with what they've had this year, but I don't think they're a team that if you blow them out that shows big gains or massive a good outlook on your season so far. I do think the Chiefs are going to start picking it up here in the last quarter of the season, heading into the playoffs. And I think, man, fuck you, motorcycle. It's like 1 o'clock at night. I don't understand. Go to sleep. But, yeah, Chiefs, I think they'll start picking it up here pretty soon. Steelers and Browns, they need to fire Freddie Kitchens immediately. Jesus Christ, how does he still have a job? That front office is, wow. What are they doing? They have been the biggest disappointment all season. By far, no doubt about it. And a lot of that lands on the first-year head coach, Freddie Kitchens. You haven't been playing well. You haven't been coaching well. You go into the second matchup against the Steelers wearing a shirt saying Pittsburgh started it, basically talking shit. You're talking shit without having to back up anything. You're not backing up what you're saying. And then you go in and lose. Yeah, I got a problem with that. Him and Jason Garrett need to go immediately. I do not understand how they both currently have a job in the NFL. I mean, for God's sake, Ron Rivera just got fired. Out the fucking blue. I don't know. I think that's a big indicator that Cam's going to go. They're going to get rid of him, but it's just my thought on that. Yeah, I'm going to talk about it. Broncos got the dub, baby. About goddamn time. I've had about 3 or 4 games where it's been like that. Last second possession, win or lose, and they've lost them all. Except for this one. It's a good win. It's nice to see the rookie quarterback have a game under his belt. Big arm. I like him under center. Obviously, I want to see more, but... And Cortland Sutton, number 14. Keep an eye out for him. I think he's already top 10 in the league. He's a fucking dog on the outside. But, yeah, keep an eye out for him. And, yeah, I'll get into overpaying quarterbacks right now. As I mentioned, Carson Wentz, Kirk Cousins, Nick Foles. I'll give Nick Foles some leeway because he got injured, but fuck, last game he threw 3 interceptions in the first half. And I'm sure there's a couple others that I'm forgetting at the moment. But there are a few quarterbacks this year that have... Oh, Jared Goff. Jared Goff is a big one as well. That have gotten these huge contracts. And they have not been playing well at all. Where you need these guys to make a play, go down the field and score, do it on their own, sometimes without the running game, without the best offensive line, and they can't do it. And that's a problem. I think it's fucked up how these guys are getting a super premium over these running backs and other skill positions. And I think it, especially for the Cowboys, I think they're looking at Dak and they're like, you're good and all, but fuck no, we're not giving you all that money. We just paid Zeke, which we should have. We gave DeMarcus Lawrence his money. We know we're probably going to have to add another piece or two. We're going to have to extend Amari Cooper. And there's a couple other teams like that. And obviously, the quarterback position demands a premium because he is the most important player on the field. I just don't think it should be such a high premium, is basically what I'm getting at. Playoffs, I don't want to see the Cowboys in there, but whoever gets that last spot in the NFC, they're going to get dogged. Because that shit is, every team in the NFC has a chance to go to the Super Bowl. Niners, Saints, Vikings, Seahawks. Who else am I forgetting? Packers. And that 6th spot, it's like, whatever. Throw you in, we're going to dog the shit out of you and whatever. The AFC, that 6th spot is going to be a sneaky team, possibly like the Titans, where they can have an upset. They can kick someone out early and kind of shock people and say, whoa, what happened there? Unlike the NFC, but again, I would like to see a Ravens-Seahawks matchup. Just me. But let's look at some matchups upcoming this Sunday for the NFL. Pulled up here. All right, Cowboys, Bears. Cowboys should win, but fuck, man. Yeah, we'll see about that. Broncos, Texans. Expect the Texans to win. Panthers, Falcons. I think Christian McCaffrey will have a bounce-back game. I still think the Falcons will win that one. Ravens and Bills. Holy shit. This is going to be a big game because everybody keeps sleeping on the Bills, and I think they're pretty legit. Josh Allen is playing way better than I thought he would, especially at this point in his career. I did not think he would be progressing like this. And I certainly did not think this defense would be playing the way it is, as good as they are right now. And I have Lamar in fantasy, so I'm kind of tripping out about that. But, I'll take the Ravens in a... We'll go 24-14. Bengals, Browns. Jeez. Take your pick. I don't think it matters. Redskins, Packers. I'll take the Packers. Lions, Vikings. Go with the Vikings. Niners, Saints. Both 10-2. This is a tough game. I would not bet on this game. That is for sure. It depends on where it is. If it's in the Dome, I'll take New Orleans. It is. It is in the Mercedes-Benz Superdome. I'll take the Saints. 28-24. 28-24 New Orleans. Dolphins, Jets. Who gives a shit? Colts, Bucks. I'll take the Colts. Buccaneers have been playing a little bit better as of recently, but fuck, Jameis Winston still sucks. I think they should move on from him, most definitely. He's a good backup, put it that way. Chargers, Jags, both 4-8. Take your pick. The Jags are starting Gardner Minshew, but they are saying that they will give Nick Foles another shot. You know, they do plan on having him back next year. There's reports saying they don't know if the head coach, offensive coordinator, and Tom Coughlin, the GM, if they will be back next season. Which fuck it. I mean, they've had such big drop-offs. You know, they should blow up that front office and coaching staff and see what they can do with someone new. Especially getting rid of Ramsey, and you might lose another guy or two. Next game is the Titans and Raiders. I'll take the Titans. I do think they will be a sleeper as the last spot in the AFC. Chiefs, Patriots. Whew. Man, I haven't watched too much of the Chiefs because Mahomes has been injured and on and off, and I'm surprised that's not a Sunday night game. I think, that should definitely be a Sunday night football game. Fuck, I don't even want to give a prediction. Because yeah, I'm not even going to predict that, but I think Mahomes will have a good game. I'll still take Patriots. Let's see. 31-28. 31-28. Steelers, Cardinals. Fuck, man. I don't want to see the fucking Steelers in the playoffs. I do not want to see a team with a third-string quarterback in the fucking playoffs. I don't want to see it. I hate how they're fucking sitting at 7-5. I'm not happy about that. Fuck, I want them to lose. They're playing the Cardinals. Fuck, man. Yeah, I don't want to see that happen. Seahawks, Rams. The Seahawks are going to fucking steamroll the fuck out of them. And Eagles, Giants. I'll take the Eagles. And I don't know. I've heard Eli's coming back. Whoop-de-doo. Here's the farewell tour. Yada, yada, yada. I think that's what the hoopla has been on social media, at least. I think he's coming back, but I don't know why. I don't know if the young quarterback is hurt or not. Danny Dimes. But, I mean, who cares? They have 2 wins on the season, so might as well fucking put in Eli and tank, try and get Chase Young. All right, that's enough of the fucking NFL. College football playoffs, Michigan, Harbaugh. I do expect Harbaugh to be fired, unfortunately. I think he's getting a little bit of a bad rap just because some of these Ohio State, he's been 0-6 or 0-8 against the Buckeyes in his career so far as Michigan's head coach. But fuck, man, some of those Ohio State teams they either won they won the chip or they got very close. But I understand you got to win at least 1, 2, maybe 3. You can't be winless. You can't be winless. That just can't happen for rival schools like that. You got to be able to win some of those games. So I do expect Harbaugh to go. Alabama. I've come at a cross, I'm so torn about them. Do I believe they should be the number 4 in the playoffs? Ugh. I do. I hate saying it, but I do. I mean, they lost to LSU, who is no doubt in my mind the best team in the nation. And they lost to Auburn with their backup quarterback by 3 points. 3 points. Very tough game. Auburn is very good this year. Do I think Utah would beat fucking Alabama? Hell no. But at the other end, it's like, fuck Bama. Give another team a shot. Put Utah in there. Put Georgia in there. See if they can work their magic maybe for a game. But if they do get blown out, the committee's going to, yikes. There's going to be some questions about that committee and what they're doing. But do I think Alabama's better than most of the teams? Yes. But on the other hand, they've had their turn. And saying Nick Saban, if his run is over, yeah, you know what? You lost 2 games this year. You might as well hang it up. You might as well just retire or go to NFL or whatever. No, come on, people. Let's get real. I mean, I already said they lost to 2 of the best teams in college football, so it was a bad year out of how many years? Yeah. And if 2 losses is a bad year, fuck, But I did save the best for last. Go Tigers. Joe Burrow's the fucking GOAT. Came out pregame, last home game of the season with the Burrow, the EAUX jersey. That was some legendary shit. This dude, I fucking love this guy. God damn it. And the college football playoff championship is in the Mercedes-Benz Superdome in Louisiana. New Orleans. Oh my God. If LSU goes to New Orleans and wins the fucking chip, New Orleans might burn down. Or they might drown in fucking liquor. One of the two is going to happen. And I'm here for it. I'm here for that. Oh my God. Fuck yeah. All right. Enough of football. I fucking felt like I went on forever about the NFL. So sorry if I did, but let's get into some basketball action. Melo. Fuck the haters. But I may hate on him for a second. And first of all, when has Player of the Week ever been this big of a topic? I guess it's because Melo, but I don't think players are checking if, am I going to win Player of the Week? No. I don't think that at all. I don't think any player's like, oh, fuck him. He doesn't deserve Player of the Week. Or Player of the Month, or... Yeah, I don't think players are checking for it like that. Obviously, James Harden deserved it. He fucking averaged 40. Or Luka. Luka's been playing out of his mind. But, it's the holiday season. It's a heartwarming story for Melo to be back in the league. I'm very happy. I know a lot of other basketball fans are happy he's back in the league and playing well, might I add, playing very well and winning. But fuck it, give it to him. Why not? I mean, who cares about a player of the month or player of the week? I don't think players necessarily are tripping over it. The Clippers. I do think the Lakers are better. I do think the Lakers are the better team. I just think when it comes down to it, Anthony Davis and LeBron versus Paul George and Kawhi. Who's the better duo? Who's going to be the more dominant duo? It's LeBron and AD. There's no doubt in my mind. I don't read into it too much that Paul George and Kawhi haven't practiced together. I don't think that's as big of a deal right now. But both of they're not the healthiest players. Paul George is somehow always fucking hurt with his shoulder or something. And when it comes to the playoffs, I like Paul George. He's a hooper. He's a baller. But when it gets to the playoffs, that shot gets a little quirky, and out of nowhere he's got an injury somewhere that's affecting his shot. And Kawhi, he's missing every other game. And I really haven't been able to see them play much because whenever they are on nationally televised games, one of them's hurt or both of them aren't playing. So I can't really say too much about them, but I do believe, I do believe the Lakers are the better team. So the Lakers beat Denver last night. Or 2 nights ago, whenever you're hearing this. I like Denver's, I think people sleep on them, and that's not the Denver bias in me talking. I do think people sleep on Denver. Do I think they're at the level of the Clippers or the Lakers? No. Do I think they're at the Rockets level? Yes. Because I don't believe the Rockets are at a Clipper-Laker level. I think they're in that mid-range where they could do something, but ultimately they won't do anything in the playoffs. But I think I said this in the first episode. Denver lacks a scorer, a really good small forward, and that will hurt them. It will hurt them a lot. And fucking Jokic, lose some fucking weight. I personally do think he is the best big man in the league. And no, you can't fucking put Anthony Davis in discussion for big man. He's a power forward. He has always played power forward except for maybe a season. He's a fucking power forward. I'm saying centers. Yes, I think he's better than Embiid. Do I believe in Embiid's health? No. Do I believe him and Ben Simmons? No. I'd rather take Jamal Murray and Jokic over Ben Simmons and Embiid. Don't fucking at me. That's how I feel. And they play against better competition, and they've played better than the Sixers have. That's how I feel about that. There's not too much going on in the NBA as of right now, in my opinion. Just looking through the scores tonight. Lakers over the Jazz big. Oh, I saw the Jazz fucking announcers getting salty about LeBron on the court. Shut the fuck up. I get it. You Mormons are probably salty that LeBron James is on the court without his shoes on, happy for his teammate, while your team's getting fucking dicked. Shut the fuck up. Just call the game. But, Trailblazers, another win. Let's see the box score. Carmelo with another 20-point game, 5 rebounds. Man, happy for that guy. Really am. Look out for Portland. The record isn't great right now. I think it will get better. But, I saw this report by this guy, I think, Barry Jackson, writer or reporter, I don't really know. He said that the Miami Heat are prioritizing Giannis and Oladipo in 2021. I'm very intrigued by this. If I would pair Giannis with somebody, was, somebody that you really wouldn't think of, Oladipo is it. Because Oladipo is a scorer. He's an okay defender. And he's great in crunch time. You can trust him with the last shot, no doubt. I don't think it'll be more so Giannis fitting with Oladipo, but Oladipo fitting with Giannis. But God, if they get Nunn and Hero and a couple other guys to get some more experience, develop them, wow, I would love that team. I think Pat Riley is, yeah. I think he's fantasizing about that right now. And I would be too, because, yeah, that is some good shit. I would love to see that happen. The NBA schedule changes that I was talking about the other episode, about them adding the tournament and possibly for another pick. I think that makes a lot more, it makes a little more sense. And they said it'd be early in the season, like before Christmas time, which I like. But, the pick is going to have to be a late first round or a mid first round for me to really get on board with that. It can't just be the last pick of the draft or something, whatever. It's gotta hold some weight. It's gotta hold some value for me to really say this tournament is worth having in the beginning of an NBA season. And I get it, it's them trying to boost some ratings because they are down right now and trying to think of ways to, give some more excitement to the league. So if that extra pick that they award the winner is going to hold some value and some weight, I would be interested. In it. College basketball, fuck that. I haven't really been paying attention too much, but I did see the end of that Duke-Michigan State game. Just saying. It was just one game they lost, and they beat Michigan State without Cassius Stanley. I'll say that. Good for Duke. But, yeah, I can't really speak on much else because I haven't really been watching too much. Fashion. I really did want to get into some fashion, but I'm not really up to date. I guess I'll talk about the off-white dunks. Those are fucking sick. I don't have a preference on colorway, because for me, I would take out that extra orange lacing. I'm just not too big of a fan of that, and I wish they did come in with some extra laces than what they are coming out with. They're just coming out with, I think, 1 or 2 laces, which is kind of odd, but that chrome box is fucking sick. And I do kind of like that Jets green pair. Pair that with like a Rondo Celtics jersey or something like that. I think that'd be pretty sick. These Dior Jordans. They're already on StockX selling for fucking $10,000. Man, it just bums me out, man. Because I think these shoes are really fucking sick. I thought they were gonna fuck it up and just put the whole Dior print all over the shoe, but no, if you're fucking one of those, if you're just hating just because it's a Jordan and a designer collab, you're not cool. I get it, you don't have to like it, but you're not fucking woke or anything by saying these are, whatever. I'm just seeing some shit on the internet that just bothers me. But how it says Air Dior on the wings and how it has the wings and the Dior on the soles, I would love to have those, but I would never pay resale for those unless, I hit the lotto or something. Yeah, that's kind of all I have for the fashion portion. The Supreme dropping this week. It is what it is. I'm not too big on it. I would like the parka. I think that's a nice touch. Just going through Hypebeast real quick. Let's see. I did catch a little bit of some pictures of the Dior fashion show. Pretty cool stuff. Dior always has some dope shit, though. They always do. I think they're one of the more... I don't know. I'm a fan of Dior and what they do over there. But I think that kind of wraps up for the sneakers. I'll touch on the breads for a second. I'm just not a fan of that high-cut patent leather. I'm really not. And I'm not hyped for when they do it to the fucking cool grays next year. They haven't said anything about doing the cool grays, but it's about time for them to do the cool grays. And I really do want a cool gray pair of 11s, but I don't want the high-cut. I don't want it. I'm just not a fan. Not a fan of them. Music, not a whole lot going on there. We'll just have to wait for this weekend. I didn't mention Game's album last week, and I've heard nothing but good things about it. But I'm just not the biggest Game fan. I've only listened to a couple projects, like the documentary and, the big one. Of course, who hasn't listened to the documentary? And if you haven't, be ashamed. Go listen. Game never really puts out a bad project, but this one I've been hearing really good things about. That's what I'll say on that. All right, guys, I think that's it. It's been the longest one. I'm kind of proud. Every either Wednesday night or Thursday morning, I'll drop a podcast. Thanks for listening. This is the fourth installment, of the 1-4 Flat podcast. Get the hell out the way. No scrubs. I'm your host, Crick. Thanks, guys.